The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Speckled Band. Adapted from the short story by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Miss Helen Stoner asks Sherlock Holmes for help after her twin sister dies mysteriously. Holmes soon finds out that the danger is worse than anyone thought.
I've studied many cases with Sherlock Holmes over the last 8 years. Some were sad, some funny, and many strange, but none were ordinary. The case of the Roylotts of Stoke Moran was the most unusual.
Good morning, Watson.
It was early in April in 1883. I woke up to find Sherlock Holmes standing by my bed. He usually slept late, so I was surprised to see him at 7:50.
Sorry to bother you, Watson, but Mrs. Hudson woke me up, and now I'm waking you up.
Is there a fire?
No, a client. A young lady is here and insists on seeing me. She's waiting in the sitting room. When young ladies come to see me early in the morning, it's usually important. If it's an interesting case, I thought you might want to follow it from the start.
I want to miss it for him.
I love following Holmes in his investigations. I quickly got dressed and went to the sitting room with Holmes. A lady dressed in black and heavily veiled stood up as we entered.
Good morning, madam. I'm Sherlock Holmes. This is my friend, Dr. Watson. You can speak freely in front of him. Mrs. Hudson has lit the fire. I'll order you a cup of hot coffee because you look cold.
It's not a cold admission.
What is it then?
It's fear, Mr. Holmes. It's terror.
She raised her veil, revealing a grey drawn face and frightened eyes. Her hair prematurely grey despite looking about 30. Holmes examined her swiftly.
You must not be afraid. We will soon set things right. You came by train this morning, I see.
You know me then?
No, but I see the second half of a return ticket in your left glove. You must have started early and had a good ride in a dog cart before you reached the station.
The lady was startled and stared at Holmes in bewilderment.
There's no mystery, madam. The left arm of your jacket is spattered with mud in 7 places. The marks are fresh. Only a dog cart throws up mud like that, and only when you sit on the left-hand side of the arrival.
You're correct. I started from home before 6. I can't stand this train any longer. I shall go mad if it continues. I have no one to turn to except you, Mr. Holmes. Can you help me and shed some light on the darkness around me? I can't reward you now, but in a month or 6 weeks, I shall be married and have control of my own income. Then I won't be ungrateful.
I will be happy to help you. As for a reward, my profession is its own reward. You can pay any expenses at any time, at a time that suits you. Now please, tell us everything that may help us understand the matter.
My name is Helen Stoner. I live with my stepfather, the last survivors of the Roylotts of Stoke Moran, on the western border of Surrey.
The name is familiar to me.
The family was once rich, but squandered its wealth. My stepfather, Dr. Roylott, turned to medicine and later married my mother, a wealthy widow. When she passed away, he inherited her income while we lived with him. Returning to Stoke Moran, his temper grew violent, isolating us from the village. My sister Julia and I endured a difficult life, managing the household alone. Julia's death at 30 left her prematurely aged like Nina.
Your sister is dead?
Julie passed away 2 years ago, shortly before her wedding. She had become engaged to a marine major during a Christmas visit to her aunt, Miss Honorary Westfield, near Harrow. My stepfather had no objections, yet within weeks of the wedding day, tragedy struck and claimed her life.
Holmes had been leaning back in his chair with his eyes closed, but he opened them now and glanced at the visor.
Please be precise with the details.
It's easy for me because every event of that dreadful time is seared into my memory. The manor house is very old, and only one wing is inhabited. The bedrooms are on the ground floor, and the sitting rooms are in the central part. The first bedroom is Dr. Roylott's, and the second is my sister. Then the third, mine. There's no communication between them, but they all open into the same corridor. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
The windows of the 3 rooms open into the lawn. That night, Dr. Roylott went into his room early. Julia came into my room and chatted about her wedding. At 11 o'clock, she left but paused at the door.
Have you ever heard anyone whistle in the dead of night?
Never.
Could you whistle in your sleep?
Certainly not, but why?
Because I heard a loud clear whistle at 3 in the morning for the last few nights. It's waking me up. I can tell where it's come from. Maybe in the next room or the lawn. I tell you, I ask you if you heard it.
No, I haven't. I sleep more heavily than you.
Well, it's not important.
She smiled, locked my door, and left. The storm kept me awake, and suddenly a wild scream pierced the night. I ran into the corridor and saw my sister collapse. Her face pale with terror, she screamed.
Oh, Helen, is this the man? The Speckled Band!
She pointed to the doctor's room. I called for my stepfather. He came from his room and sent for medical help, but it was too late. She died without regaining consciousness.
Are you sure about the whistle and the metallic sound? Will you swear to it?
The coroner asked me the same thing. I strongly believe I heard it, but I might have been deceived by the noise of the gale and the creaking of the house.
What did the coroner conclude?
He investigated carefully, but couldn't find a satisfactory cause of death.
How about poison?
The doctors examined her for it, but found nothing.
What do you think she died of?
I believe she died of pure fear and nervous shock, but I don't know what frightened her.
And what did she mean by band? A speckled
I
band?
don't know.
These are deep waters. Please continue.
2 years have passed, and I am now engaged to Percy Armitage. Recently, I moved into the room where my sister died due to repairs of my own. Last night, I heard the same whistle she described. Terrified, I lit a lamp, but saw nothing. At dawn, I came to seek your help.
You did wisely. Have you told me everything?
Yes, but
This is a deep matter. There are many details I need to know before deciding what to do. But we have no time to lose. If we come to Stockmoran today, can we see the rooms without your stepfather knowing?
he's going to town today for important business. He will be away all day, and there will be nothing to disturb you. We have a housekeeper, but she is old and foolish. I can easily get her out of the way.
Excellent. Watson, are you up for this trip?
By all means.
Then we shall both come. You can expect us early in the afternoon.
I look forward to seeing you again this afternoon.
What do you think of it all, Watson?
It seems dark and sinister.
Dark and sinister indeed.
Her door suddenly opened, and a huge man stood there. He wore a black top hat, a long fur coat, and high gaiters, with a hunting crop in his hand.
Which of you is Holmes?
My name, sir. Would you have the advantage of me?
I'm Dr. Grimsby, Royal of Stockmore.
Indeed. Doctor, please take a seat.
I will do nothing of the kind. My stepdaughter has been here. What has she been saying to you?
It is a little cold for the time of year.
What has she been saying to you?
I have heard that the crocuses promise well.
You put me off, do you? I know you, you scoundrel. You are Holmes, the meddler. Holmes, the busybody. Holmes, the Scotland Yard Jack in office.
Your conversation is entertaining. When you leave, close the door, for there's a draft.
I will go when I have said my say. Don't meddle with me at first. I know Mrs. Stoner has been here. I'm dangerous. Stay out of my way.
Dr. Roylott stepped forward, seized the poker, and bent it to a curve with his huge hands. He threw the poker into the fireplace as he left.
He seems very amiable. This incident adds excitement to our investigation. I hope Miss Stoner doesn't suffer from her imprudence in letting this brute trace her. Now, Watson, let's order breakfast and then call a cab to Waterloo.
When we called on our client, she hurried to meet us with a joyful face.
I've been waiting eagerly for you. Dr. Rowley has gone to town and won't be back before evening.
We have met the doctor,
Oh, he followed me then.
so it appears. Let's make the best use of our time. Please take us to the rooms we need to examine.
The building was old and partly ruined. Holmes walked slowly up and down the lawn, examining the windows.
This windows belongs to your old room, the center one to your sister's, and the one next to the main building to Dr. Roylott's chamber.
Exactly. But I am now sleeping in the living room.
Pending the repairs, there doesn't seem to be any need for repairs at that angle.
There were none. I believe it was an excuse to move me from your room.
That's suggestive. On the other side of this wing runs the corridor from which there's room open. There are windows in it.
Yes, but very small ones, too narrow for anyone to pass through.
As you both lock your doors at night, your rooms were unapproachable from that side. Please go into your room and bar your shutters.
Miss Turner did so. Holmes tried to force the shutter open, but she couldn't. He tested the hinges, but they were solid iron.
My theory presents some difficulties. No one could pass these shutters if they were bolted. Let's see if the inside throws any light on the matter.
We went to the room where Miss Turner was now sleeping and where her sister had died. Holmes sat silent, examining every detail of the room.
Where does that bell communicate with?
It goes to the housekeeper's room.
It looks newer than the other things.
Yes, it was put there a couple of years ago.
Your sister asked for it?
No, I never heard of her using it. We always got what we got it ourselves.
It seems unnecessary to put such a nice bell pulled there. Excuse me while I check the floor.
Holmes examined the cracks between the boards and the woodwork. He started on the bell and the wall. He chopped the bell rope.
It's a dummy.
One and three.
No, it's not attached to a wire. It's fastened to a hook above the ventilator.
How absurd! I never noticed that before.
Dummy bell ropes and ventilators that don't ventilate. Let's check the inner apartment.
Dr. Royal chamber was larger but plainly furnished. Holmes examined everything with keen interest.
What's in here?
My stepfather's business papers.
You've seen inside?
Only once, years ago, it was full of papers.
There's no cat in it.
No, what a strange idea.
Look at this saucer of milk.
We don't keep a cat.
I think I've seen enough. Let's walk out on the lawn.
Holmes looked grim as we walked up and down the lawn.
It's essential that you follow my advice.
I will.
Your life may depend on it. Both my friend and I must spend the night in your room.
Miss Turner and I were astonished.
Yes, it must be so. I believe that's the Village Inn over there.
Yes, the crown.
Your windows are visible from there.
Certainly.
Confine yourself to your room when your stepfather returns. When he retires for the night, open the shutters, put your lamp as a signal, and then move to your old room. You can manage there for one night.
Yes, easily.
Leave the rest to us.
What will you do?
We will spend the night in your room and investigate the noise.
You have already made up your mind.
Perhaps I have.
Tell me, what caused my sister's death?
I prefer to have clearer proofs before I speak.
Did she die from sudden brain?
No, I think there was a more tangible cause. We must leave here now. Be brave and follow my instructions.
Holmes and I had no trouble getting a room at the Crown Inn. From our window, we could see the gate and the inhabited wing of Stoke Moran Manor House. At dusk, we saw Dr. Royal drive past.
Watson, I'm not sure about taking you tonight. There is danger.
Can I help?
Your presence might be invaluable.
Then I will come.
It's very kind of you.
You speak of danger. You have seen more in these rooms than I had.
No, but I may have to use more. You saw that bell rope?
Yes, but I can imagine its purpose.
You saw the ventilator?
Yes, but it's not unusual to have a small opening between rooms. What harm can it do?
There is a curious coincidence of dates. A ventilator is made, a cord is hung, and a lady dies. Doesn't that strike you?
I can't see any connection.
Do you notice anything peculiar about the bed?
No.
It was clamped to the floor. Have you ever seen a bed fastened like that?
No.
The lady couldn't move her bed. It must always be in the same position to the ventilator and the rope.
I see dimly what you're hinting at. We are just in time to prevent a horrible crime.
At 11, a bright light shone from the middle window.
That's our signal.
We slipped onto the dark road, a chill rain on our faces. Barefoot, like Holmes, I felt quieter as we moved. Inside the bedroom, Holmes closed the shutters, set the lamp down, and scanned the room. Everything was as we had seen it earlier. Holmes whispered.
The least sound will be fatal to romance. Do not go to sleep. Your life may depend on it. I will sit to the side of the bed and you in that chair.
Suddenly, there was a gleam of light from the ventilator, followed by a strong smell of burning oil and heated metal. Someone in the next room had lit a dark lantern. I heard a gentle sound of movement. Then, well, all silent again. For half an hour, I sat with straining ears. Then, I heard a gentle shooting sound like steam escaping from a kettle. Holmes sprang from the bed, struck a match and lashed furiously with his cane at the bell.
You see it, Watson? You see it?
I saw nothing. When Holmes struck the light, I heard a low, clear whistle, but the sudden glare made it impossible to see what Holmes was laughing at. His face was pale and filled with horror. He stopped striking and gazed at the ventilator. Suddenly, a horrible cry broke the silence. It was a yell of pain, fear, and anger. It raised the sleepers in the village. It struck hold to our hearts. I stood gazing at Holmes and he at me until the last echoes died away.
What can it mean?
It means that it is all over, and perhaps after all, it is for the best. We will enter Dr. Royal's room.
Holmes lit the lamp and led the way down the corridor. He struck the chamber door twice without any reply. Then he turned the handle and entered. On the table stood a dark lantern, throwing a beam of light on the iron sink, which was ajar. Dr. Royal sat on a wooden chair, wearing a long gray dressing gown. Around his brow was a peculiar yellow band with brown speckles.
The band! The Speckled Band!
I took a step forward. The band began to move, and a loathsome serpent reared its head.
It is a swamp otter, the deadly snake in India. He has died within 10 seconds of being bitten.
The official inquiry concluded that Dr. Royal met his fate by playing with a dangerous pet. Holmes explained the rest of the case to me as we traveled back the next day.
The word band put me on the wrong track. It became clear that the danger could come from the window or the door. The dummy bar rope and the clamp bed made me suspect that the rope was a bridge for something passing through the hole. The idea of a snake occurred to me. The doctor had creatures from India. I had these conclusions before entering his room. The chair showed he stood on it to reach the ventilator. The safe, saucer of milk, and a loop of whipcord confirmed my suspicions. The metallic clank was the doctor closing the safe on the snake. I heard the creature hiss and attacked it.
With the result of dragging it through the ventilator.
I'm causing it to turn on its master. Some blows of my cane bruised its temper, so it attacked the first person it saw. I am indirectly responsible for Dr. Royal's death, but it doesn't weigh heavily on my conscience.